Afternoon, ladies. This is Carolina Gilcavi from State Adventures, and I have been helping Debbie put together this beautiful trip to France. I thought I would hop on here, go through the itinerary quickly, just to give you a taste and idea of what to expect. I'm going to share my screen here so you can see the document that I have shared with anyone that was interested so far. We're going to do a full-on presentation on June 5th at the Uncorked Wine Bar, but here's just a glimpse into the trip. We are planning to leave on August 26th. It's an overnight flight. We're going to land on August 27th in the city of Paris. Now, the way the trip is planned is that it is a State Adventures experience. It is fully private, just for our ladies. So when we arrive in Paris, there'll be a State Adventure sign with our name on it, and we will have a private car to escort us to our hotels. I handpicked the hotels for us so that it kind of matches the theme, matches the location, makes the most sense of where we are and what we're doing. So when we arrive in Paris, depending on what flight we take, I'm going to arrange a beautiful welcome lunch. Perhaps we will do it down the river on a boat, or we can pick a restaurant that overlooks the Eiffel Tower. I want us to have a beautiful champagne welcome. That is my kind of signature for all of my clients that arrive somewhere, and kind of get that second wind to enjoy. I also will include tickets to the Eiffel Tower so we can climb up there at night, mainly because I know most people do get that second wind in the afternoon and want to do something. So going here for sunset and seeing the Eiffel Tower lit up, I think will just set off the trip on the right path. And the hotel I chose is centrally located, just a few blocks from the main avenue. It's kind of an old residence that's been remade into a hotel. So it really feels like we're in Paris. I think it's going to be a beautiful experience staying here. I'm giving everybody the option to share rooms and share the cost, or there are enough rooms on hold that we can do single supplement and have your own rooms. So just let me know what works. Next day we wake up and we're going to tour Paris. There is so much to see in Paris. We could probably stay 2 weeks and not see it all, but we're going to try to hit as many highlights as possible. It is a private trip, just us, our English speaking guide, and our car. So we can drive, we can walk, we can peek into doorways, taste stuff along the way. So we're going to be together for about 8 hours with the guide. He's also going to take us to a traditional Parisian restaurant to have a 3-course lunch with some wine. This is where we're going to start tasting. Debbie can share her knowledge, and we're going to start dabbling into the theme of the trip, which is not only beautiful locations and history, but the food and wine, which is such a wonderful reason to travel. I put on here that, tickets to places like the Louvre, which is the main museum in Paris, are not included, mainly because we will need a whole day for that. So if you have the time and if you have the desire to see Louvre, talk to me. We can add a night at the end of the trip or in the beginning of the trip, and you can have an extra day to see the museum. Day 4, we're leaving Paris behind and we are traveling to Normandy. Normandy is another region of France. It's known for its history and it's on the coast. So that's where Parisians will go for beaches and also amazing, amazing seafood. We are going to be really busy with our private guide, exploring little villages, seaside sites. Of course, we're going to touch on World War II history. So again, what your interests are, we're going to discuss ahead of time and make sure everything is included that everybody is happy with. We're going to have a beautiful local seafood lunch here, have some drinks, kind of get a taste of Normandy. The hotel we chose is a traditional French hotel. So I'm excited to stay here because it will be us rubbing elbows with local Parisians who are on vacation in this region. It's really well located and there's plenty to see and do inside the hotel. There's a spa, there's tons of restaurants, there's even a casino, they have bikes that we can rent and ride around. So we will not be bored here at all. And it's right on the water. Next day in Normandy, besides tasting oysters and going to an awesome local farm, we are going to see one of the most beautiful sites, Mont Saint-Michel in France. And I mean, this is just like a postcard vision. I'm very excited to take you ladies here. It's going to be beautiful. I have traveled through Europe quite often. I'm originally from Poland, but then I studied in Switzerland for a semester, so I was able to really get out and explore. And since getting into the travel business 16 years ago, I have come back to Europe quite often. So I'm excited every time I go. I try to see something new. So I'm very excited that we're going to go here as well. So after our 2 nights in Normandy, we are going to Bordeaux, which I think will be at the core of our trip because Bordeaux is the heart of wine, food, and just this really magical place of France. And we will be here for 2 nights. We're going to visit with our private guide all of these little villages and sites along the way. They're all UNESCO sites. We're going to be tasting traditional food. This is not touristy hotels or food restaurants. We are really going to handpick some places that is going to be unique and authentic to the location. Lots of time walking around all of these tiny little roads and and villages. So it's going to be a really beautiful experience. Bring your walking shoes for sure. Whenever you see traveling, we're either going to go by a private car, or if there's a good way to go by train, we will take the train. If we are taking the train and there's a first class, we're going to book the first class ticket so that we can get that fast speed train. It's going to be a really nice route. If you look on the map, how we're traveling, we're really going to visit a lot of areas of France. And so that's really exciting. This is not just Paris. This is really multiple regions that we're going to cover in a pretty short amount of time, but done tastefully. So I just wanted to give you a glimpse of the hotel in Bordeaux, traditional, classy property. Right outside its doors, we can walk out and explore, which is really important. We're not going to be on the outskirts somewhere. We're going to be in the center of things so that we don't waste time in cars going back and forth. Bordeaux, we're really going to envelop ourselves into the culture here. One of our favorite experiences here will be, we're going to go to a local farm. We're going to have an al fresco lunch here. I mean, just summer in France, you can't go wrong. So I'm really excited. In Bordeaux, also, some of the best restaurants in France are here, Michelin star restaurants. So if we want, we can get a reservation at one of the restaurants there, maybe a 12-course meal, something exciting, something new. There's so many possibilities to kind of tweak the itinerary further. From Bordeaux, before we head back to Paris, we are going to stop at a really special place, which is Lourdes, and we're going to go there to specifically visit a really holy place where, like 50 million people travel there for a pilgrimage. As you can see here in the picture, and every night in the summer, there is a procession with candlelight, and we will take part in this procession. This is a site where a little girl saw Mary, and the water that flows through this town is supposedly holy. So, and has healing properties. So we're going to go there. This is kind of off the beaten path, and we're going to include it. So if you have heard the story, if you love history, or if you are religious, this is going to be a beautiful stop. And we are going to stay in the hotel directly across from the sanctuary. Literally, we're going to be able to walk to our procession at night. So I think it's going to add just that magical touch to the itinerary. After all the wine and food and exploring, here's something that's just so different. And then day 9, we're going to take that train back to Paris. I believe it's about a 4-hour nonstop train ride. And we're going to end on a beautiful note, 5-star hotel, center of things, really classy, sexy hotel. But also I will arrange for all of us to go to the Moulin Rouge Cabaret show. We're going to do the VIP seating table, 3-course meal, champagne flowing, and see one of the best shows and one of the longest running shows in Paris. It's such a beautiful trip. We're going to get a good night's sleep, have some breakfast, and head to the airport on day 10 to fly back home. So again, we can customize the trip further if you want it longer, in the beginning or the end. We are hoping for a group of 8 so that we can take advantage of the lower pricing. But we will depart with a group of 6, and I know that we have 3 already confirmed. So let me know if you have any questions. But I look forward to chatting with all of you on June 5th as we sip some wine that Debbie will pour for us and tell us a little bit more. Very excited to help you all. Carolina, my email is info@sadadventures.com. and I will be in touch with everybody. Happy travels.